right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rawby Rice. Government name Robert Young Drake if you need that. But I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you guys. And before I begin, I just want to say big thank you to Hope at Hand for bringing facilitators like me to spend some time with you guys. And I hope you guys get as much out of this workshop as I intend to have fun with facilitating with you all. Okay. Um, I do go by the stage name Young OG Rawby. I am a lyricist. A little bit about me. I'm a lyricist. I am a poet. I am a community activist. I am an entrepreneur. I am an engineer. Everything that Stephanie said is absolutely true. Um, and I work. I have a big love for youth development. I loved the youth, working with kids, helping them become more well-adjusted members to society, if you will, right? That is, excuse me guys, give me 1 second. Trying to get back to the screen here. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Did that work? Like I just stopped screen sharing for some reason. And we are back. Okay. And I've also worked with the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida, CSA as well. And a big part of what I do comes from the fact that I've had a lot of mentors in my life that helped me become who I am today, which is somebody who loves to give back, somebody who has fallen in love with the artistic process and has used their arts to kind of incorporate that into my leadership style, right? So that's just a little bit about me. I just want to create a long lasting impact with my art, with my music and things of that nature. So if you guys want to connect with me, I will definitely share my social media information at the end of the presentation. So bear with me guys. So we do have an objective for today, and I'm just going to go through this very briefly. Our objective is to use spoken word and guided lyrical expression, of course, as creative tools to increase the self-expression, self-awareness, and self-esteem of people of all ages. I know you guys are adults. I'm used to working with youth, but what I do is definitely geared for people of all ages. I want everybody to be included in this process, and I want you guys to have fun with it as well, okay? Moving right along, guys. So our goals are as follows. We have three main goals for this workshop specifically. We're just going to gain an understanding of lyrical expression. We're going to use that same understanding to self-express and create. And from those creations, we're going to boost our confidence and self-esteem by creating those finished works that's going to be unique to you all. So what that basically means is that you guys are all going to have some written pieces that we're going to facilitate through these activities that I kind of have prepared for you all. And you guys are, if time allows, we're going to share some of those pieces. And hopefully I get to know each of you guys a little bit better through the pieces that you share, okay? I know that we only have an hour and I won't be able to go through each and every one of you to get a better understanding of you. So we're going to hopefully get to know each other through the pieces that we create here today. And if we do have some time, I'd love to, chat with you guys together as well. So let's move right along. So what is lyrical expression? And I know you guys have your own connotations, your own idea of what this could mean. But for the sake of this workshop and for what I've learned as I've cultivated this ability is that lyrical expression is an ability. It's an ability to tell a story in an imaginative, beautiful, and creative way, right? And so what this basically means is that everything that you perceive in visual arts, movies, news, media, TV programs, they all have a storyline, right? The storyline is supposed to hook you, it's supposed to engage you, and the way it engages you is supposed to create an image in your mind that's supposed to help you guide you along from point A to point B. And that's why storytelling is so imperative when it comes to writing. Lyrical expression, however, is taking that storytelling element and making it imaginative and beautiful. So it's using your words to create these stories, but tell it in a more wonderful, exquisite way. Okay, guys? And so this is what we're going to be learning today. And I hope you guys stay tuned because we're going to actually dive into some really, really cool stuff. All right. So moving right along. the importance of lyrical expression. Some of you guys are wondering, why is this important? Some of you guys totally understand why this is important already. You guys are with me here. And some of you guys are just totally lost, like, what is this? How does this correlate to anything? So in my last slide, I talked about storytelling. The importance of lyrical expression is, of course, to express, but it's to create an emotion and to convey a story. So the best stories, the best stories, right? Whatever the best story is to you, I promise you that it elicited some type of emotion. It brought some element of feeling out of you, right? And that feeling created an expression from you. As the viewers, that's what we want from the things that we consume. And sorry, guys, sorry about this life is going in and out. Let me just adjust it just a little bit so you guys can see me a little bit clearer here. And hopefully that's better. That is the warm setting. All right. Love it. Stephanie, how's that look, Stephanie? All right. Thumbs up from Stephanie, guys. So I'm just going to continue here. But yeah, we want to convey a story with the things that we write, right? Because we want to elicit some kind of emotion. And then remember how you felt. Remember that moment where you felt, where you watched that movie, your favorite movie, and there was that one scene that really tugged at your heartstrings, that really got you feeling something. And that feeling, right, that probably stays with you forever, right? And you remember how that made you feel. And that's the power, guys. That's the power of lyrical expression. That's the power of storytelling. And that's the power of the imagination. These stories stimulate our imagination and creates emotion from us. And it allows us to feel, guys. And to me, that's very important because whatever I consume visually or reading or whatever, I want that story to take me on a ride. I want to feel something from that. And that's what we're going to be learning here, guys, today. Okay. And I want you, and I know all of you guys are writers. You guys all have your own level of expertise when it comes to writing, right? And so I want you guys to look at this as a tool that you can use in your arsenal for whenever you write. Okay. So look at this as another asset to your toolkit, okay? And that's all I want to provide for you here today, okay, guys? So let's move on. All right, so I have some examples here for you guys, and I chose these examples. I went through my Rolodex of artists. I love all types of music: classical, jazz, spoken word, instrumental, acoustic, alternative, hip hop, R&B, electronic, jazz, everything. I'm listening to jazz right now, but these examples are from people who I know personally and some people who I admire from afar. And I chose these artists because not only were they able to convey a story in a way that is profound, compelling, and beautiful, but they can do it in a way that doesn't dull, diminish, or take away from the overall message by using words as fluff or using profanity. So these are all poets and art and MCs who use their gifts in exceptional ways. And these are the greatest examples that I can give to you guys. All right. And I'm going to go through each of them. They're not very long. I'm going to go through each of them so you guys can see an example of what I'm talking about here. Okay. So let's move on to YouTube. Close some of these tabs here, guys.
Take notes of everything that I don't say. I should work at Chipotle, go to Cuba like.
Before I start, this is Tierra Whack, ladies and gentlemen. She is a recording artist. Uh-oh. Did it pause, guys, the screen sharing? Okay, let me just get back to that. I don't know why it did that. Stop screen sharing, get back to screen sharing. Examples. Whack. Your screen sharing is paused. Why did it pause?
Take notes of everything that I don't say. I should work at Chipotle, go to.
Oh, okay, understood. All right, guys, here we go. We have to share different tabs. All right, so this is Tierra Whack, ladies and gentlemen. She is a artist, a recording artist. She has an album called Whack World out and a couple singles. She's great lyricist, great young lady, carries herself extremely well in public. I love the way she writes, spits, and performs, and her overall imagination is whimsical. So let's take a look at what she has to offer. It's on about a minute and 24 seconds, and hopefully this gives you a better idea of how we're going to weave our words together to create stories in an imaginative and beautiful way. All right, so let's check this out.
Take notes of everything that I don't say. I should work at Chipotle, go to Cuba like OJ. Spanish dude who's confused. Baby, you have no say. I feel this is my season. Obey. Time for you to obey. You stuck because you don't pray. You in your own way. Partners like the oh yay, might smile and say, okay, but truthfully, I don't play. Loop the beat that I crochet. I'm eating from my own tray. Who high? Stop acting like drain. My father married again. Monet Tejada. I make hits with my pinata. We go enchilada. Just because you don't see the name don't mean it ain't designer. I like this in charge as a friendly reminder. Very rarely do I play it fairly. I'm like Sherry, the way I be plotting. I'm out of pocket. Louis Vuitton, lock it, Bottega wallet. For else, I'm the way I rock it. Come on, stop it. You was in the picture till I dropped it. You had the ball and dropped it. You seen I had it first and then you copped it. Shout out to all my followers that don't actually follow me. I saw you in the view, sis. You ain't got a lot of me. Obviously, you enjoy watching me from what I can see. I'm so disrespectful, but also super helpful. When you tell your side of the story, don't forget to say that I helped you up. We was in the same boat till you jump shit, but you ain't float. Look in the mirror, the person you see ain't the error. Be honest with your reflection. It's honestly an obsession. I'm trying to be of the essence. My mind is free from depression. For I am a lethal weapon, so why would I need protection? The hate amazes me. They copy, trace, and hated me. This world wasn't made for me, but I've still made it made for me. Big way.
Okay, so let me try to adjust certain things. I just noticed the chat here. Somebody hit me in the chat. The audio is going in and out. Okay, thank you, Renee. Let me try to see if I can adjust that because I do have more examples and I would hate for the audio to be messed up because of that as well. So I'm not sure how to improve that because we're doing the screen sharing here. Let's attempt.
Rawby, maybe it was the recording itself and not what you're doing.
Oh, is that okay? Okay, absolutely.
We can try the next one and see how it goes.
Sure, absolutely. Great advice, Stephanie. Let me resume the screen sharing and hopefully that'll be the issue.
When the stakes are high at work,
How's that
your
sound?
tone matters. Grammarly's advanced tone suggestions can help. Because when you write for
Did that sound even any better? I know it's a commercial, but
That sounded better on my end.
Renee, how's that sound? How did that sound to you in the chat? Good.
The saying the creeps
Okay.
come out at night is not a myth.
Okay,
It's
great.
100% true, filled with sleepwalks.
All right, wonderful, everybody. If the audio is fine, we'll continue. So this next poet is Hakeem Furious. I went to college with this young man. He is also a member of Black and Black Rhyme Poetry Troupe. He lives in Denver, Colorado, and is doing amazing things with Slam Nuba up there as well. So this poem is called Valero Valet, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please take notice of how Hakeem weaves his words to create pockets of emphasis when it comes to his poetry, and notice that these pockets are going to be laced with intention that's going to be used to like elicit some kind of response from you emotionally. All right, so let's go ahead and tap into this one. And honestly, it's not just an emotional display that we're going for with this lyrical expression, guys. We're also trying to challenge perceptions as well. Okay, some of the best stories not only elicit emotion, but they also challenge the way that you think. They also create moments in your life that cause you to reevaluate certain things that you may or may not have thought about, right? And those are the best stories as well. So let's pay attention to this, and let's see if you guys can pick up anything that you guys notice, okay?
The saying the creeps come out at night is not a myth. It's 100% true, filled with sleepwalk stalkers, PM peeping toms, the horny and the homeless. I work the graveyard shift at a gas station. The zombies come and pay me a visit like they can smell the blood. on my hands. If a person cares about community, then they will invest themselves in that community. Ever since I started working for the petroleum industry, I've entered people's routines of monotony, daily visits where we develop a relationship with each other. I say good morning as they grunt at me for their coffees and smokes. They track their muddy boots all over my freshly mopped floor and continuously forget what pump they're on. What do you mean you want 15 on the Prius? There's 6 Priuses here. This hourly wage has turned me into the quiet assailant of death. I sit silently as I make sure the soda is stock selling high fructose corn syrup by the liters. I feel like the government hustling sugar and gas. I sell lottery tickets by the loads. The fiends come and peel the numbers back like they're erasing all the wrongdoing they've ever done. Every shift, a woman comes in and spends a college tuition on crosswords and bingos. I am binge watching this tug of war of you win some, you lose some. In this material world, success is a lottery. You can work harder than anyone else, cloak yourself with enough hope and good faith, and there won't always be a winning ticket. Sometimes you need to change directions and try a new ride or play the game until there's a big bonanza behind box number 6. My favorite part is the cigarettes, the jump start to a person's day. Marlboro Mondays, new pack of Newports by noon, sometimes selling camels by the cart.
What's the screen sharing pause, everybody? Give me 1 second. I don't know why that happened. Was that because, okay. I think it's so silly sometimes. All right, here we go, guys. Sorry about that.
Hundreds on your lunch break. It's the American spirit. I listen to people explain why they smoke certain cigarettes because it's healthier for them. It's as absurd as claiming that your God is the only God. And by the end of the shift, I am fluent in menthol, a premium packaged product for pollution and profit. Philip Morris is literally making a killing. My sleep schedule promotes both insomnia and narcolepsy, but that doesn't get to me. There's nothing I couldn't handle until one day a high school boy walks in, Kleenex skin tone and buys tea and some candy. His friend, a blunt wrap and some cigarettes. Don't they know the time bomb they strapped on their chest, angered by the fact in 6 hours there'll be no cause of terror or questioning by the police or interviewing for video footage. Those oblivious boys carelessly escape their assassination. 40-hour work weeks, and nothing is more exhausting than the extinction of my people. It wears on me like a uniform. This convenience store rigor mortis, embalming my spirit with melanin and love, hustling every day until my body becomes fossil fuel.
All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and chime in here. So Valero Ballet and Hakeem Furious, that piece right there is a very charged piece, as you guys can see. I'm going to go ahead and get back to the PowerPoint here, guys. As you can see, each facet of his poem was something that was meant to get you to think about his experience working for a gas station, something so simple, and how he compounded those experiences to relate to his struggle. To me was fascinating. So now what we guys going to do, we're going to go ahead and dive into some of these exercises, guys, that I have for you. What I want you guys to do, I want you guys to have an open mind as we go through these exercises. If you guys have your pens, your paper, please pull them out, and so that we can go ahead and get to the activities portion of this workshop, guys. So if you guys are ready with me, this first game that we're going to play is the word association game, and it's an activity. It's not really a game we're going to play, but it's an activity per se. And so the way it works is this, everybody. So you see 2 words right here on the screen. One is awareness and one is self-worth. I'm actually going to pull my phone out now. I'm going to set a timer, maybe about 4 to 5 minutes. Maybe 4 to 5 minutes. And you guys are going to go ahead and write words that's associated to the word that you chose. So for example, if you chose the word self-worth. You're going to jot as many words in a 4-minute time span as possible that's associated with that word. I would say something like confidence, pride, things of that nature, right? You're going to jot those words down. And at that timer, you're going to glance over those words. And I'm going to set another timer, maybe a 5 to 10 minute timer. And I want you guys to use the words that you jotted down and associate with the word that you chose. And I want you to write a poem, a short story, a lyric, something using the words that you wrote down about the topic of the word that you chose. Does that make sense, everybody? You guys can let me know in the chat if that makes sense. But I'm going to go to the next slide. I'm going to give you an example of what I'm actually talking about, okay? So for example, I chose self-esteem, and the words that I kind of like jotted down just randomly was confidence, self-esteem, of course, pride, assurance, and ego. And the poem that I came up with, was this. If I'm allowed to, I'm going ahead and read it for you guys real fast, just so you guys can kind of, get what I'm doing here. My self-worth is the sound of a lake careening through open doors on a delightful afternoon, mighty and tranquil. Confidence swells up in me like a roaring fire with pride. Assurance in my ego allows me to keep stride and tempo. My self-esteem is a stream that gleams when sunbeams beam. So this is an example of what I'm talking about, and I'm going to allow you guys 4 minutes to jot down words and according to the word that you chose. Okay, so have your word in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and as I cue up this clock, be prepared to jot. And your time starts now at 12:30. About a minute left on the clock, everybody. All right, everybody. Can I have your attention, please? Your 4 minutes are up, and I hope you guys have written down some nice words. If you guys want to, let me know in the comments what word did you choose for activity one. I really would like to see what you guys chose. Now, for the second phase of this activity, I'm going to set 6 minutes on the clock, okay? And I want you guys to write whatever form of style of writing that you guys want. Okay, it could be a poem, it could be a narration, a short story, a lyrical exercise, anything that you want. All right, but just use those words that you wrote down, and write about the topic of the word that you chose. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look into the chat one time. I see somebody. I see Miss Stephanie has self-worth. Miss Shulamit got awareness, and Miss Elizabeth got self-worth. Okay, love to see it, guys. Love to see it. Also chose self-worth. So let's get it started, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and put 6 minutes on the clock, and thank you to those who participate in the chat. Your time starts now. You guys have till 12:37. I may push it to 12:40, so you guys don't. I mean, it just depends on how we're going. So. You guys have about a minute left, okay? All right, may I have everybody to put their pencils down? I'm going to need at least 3 volunteers. I would love to have a share session. Because time won't permit us to have everybody share. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select 3 volunteers to share for this activity, 3 volunteers to share for the next one, and 3 volunteers to share for the last one, if that's okay. So would anybody like to share? Let me know in the chat if you'd like to share, and please then unmute yourself, okay? Did anybody need more time to write, by the way? Carlton, you may share via text. That is fine. And thank you for asking. Would there be anybody else willing to share after Carlton? And if not, that's totally fine. I love to hear your pieces or see your pieces. We have a contender, everybody. Carlton, may I read this out loud? Wonderful. Throw worth out the window, lie down on the floor, shutter the door. Quit fighting, gaslighting, accept what the critics know, everything they throw, the measure of man according to plan. Lies and possessions, possessing lies, the whole world tries to define your limits. As much as time permits, do you dare to compare to where you are on the scale? You are pale and stale as you fail and fail. Carlton, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Within 6 minutes, not only were you able to start off with a strong piece, not only did you ended on a note that allowed my brain to process something differently, right? You said you are pale and stale as you fail and fail. That is something that is palpable enough to allow somebody to think and for them to process things a little bit differently. I love what you wrote here. Quit fighting, gaslighting, accept what the critics know. Everything they throw, the measure of man, which compares to the scale line. How you compare on the scale, the measure of man scale. I love how you connected those ideas, right? The measure of a man to the worth of a scale, to the measurement of a scale. That's very, very nice. Very nice. Would anybody else like to share before we continue? All right. Moving right along. I see we're gonna have about 20 minutes. Miss Stephanie, that's fine. If you want to share, go all ahead. I'm open to you sharing. If you want to share, I'm open to it, even if it's messy or a mess, as you so say. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exercise 2. We're going to write a story in limited words. Okay, we're going to focus on concise writing. We're going to try, what we're going to do is we're going to convey the same emotion, the same storylining ability, and the same beautiful and lyrical expression. All right, we're going to do everything that we did in the first exercise. This time we're going to condense it down. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes on the clock for this activity because I know that's not going to take a lot of you a long time to create something magnificent, but I want to give you guys enough time to process your thoughts and get your thoughts together. Okay, so your word limit is 10. All right, try not to go over 10 words. If you guys do 11, 12 words, I'm not going to be mad at you, but please try to stay within 10 words. Okay, and I'm looking for 3 volunteers for this activity as well. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock for this. And your time starts now. And if everybody understands the exercise, I'm going to cancel the time. And if anybody doesn't understand the exercise, please tell me in the chat and I'll go back over it again. Okay. And your time does start now. You guys have about 1 minute left. Okay, guys, you guys can put down your writing utensils. I see that we have some activity in the chat. I'm going to ask Miss Stephanie, do I have permission to read hers? Okay, wonderful. So do I start with sink or swim? Do I start with that? Okay, okay. Sink or swim? I grew fins, happily swam to safety. So what I noted off the bat, she started with the question. When you start with the question, she's automatically challenging your thoughts, challenging your perception, challenging what you think. Sink or swim? She didn't do either. She grew fins, which put a spin on it, which flipped it entirely. I grew fins and she said happily swam to safety. That's the emotion that she put into it. She happily swam to safety. She didn't sink nor swim. She happily grew fins, which allowed her to swim to safety, which I love. I love how she flipped that. It's so simple, right? And she only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now she used the right 10 words, guys. Great job, Miss Stephanie. Awesome. PJ, can I read yours, please, sir, if you don't mind out loud? Yeah, PJ. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read it if that's okay with you. And Shu, is that okay Miss Shu? Can I? It says Shu, but can I read yours out loud too? All right, great, awesome. So Shu said she cruised night streets to reconcile solitary life with skin hunger and scored. One more time. She cruised night streets to reconcile solitary life with skin hunger and scored. Now, oh, thanks, BJ. So this is very, very interesting, right? So she gave us a subject. We didn't know what the subject was going to be until she said she. So we know that she gave us she formulated somebody in our mind. She knows, and what we know is that she's in this environment. It's at this night. She's cruising the streets. She's alone. She's hungry, and she's trying to reconcile that with skin hunger, and she scored. What she put together is a bewilderment of not only like storytelling, but also a little bit of mystique. It's a little bit mysterious. You know, it's hard to put your finger on exactly what she scored with and what the solitary life was, right? And that's the mystery of storytelling as well, guys. I think this is a very, very well written piece. Great job. PJ, I'm going to read yours, okay? And if you guys allow me to, I'll share mine on the next slide, okay? The trees understand and teach that firm, deep roots facilitate healthy growth. The trees understand/teach that firm, deep roots facilitate healthy growth. Absolutely. The connection between the trees, health and growth, deep roots, strings it all together, is all connected. PJ's poem screams connection, all right? Wonderful job, everybody. Thank you guys for sharing. Carlton. Hemingway's 6-word story was for sale, baby shoes, never worn. Was I supposed to read the Hemingway's part too, Carlton? Or do you just want me to focus on the 6-word story part? Wonderful, wonderful. All right, guys, moving right along. Thank you guys for participating, my volunteers. You guys are the MVPs. I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. All right. My example was this: practice and discipline becomes who you are. Watch your habits. Practice and discipline become who you are. Watch your habits. All right. In our last exercise, everybody, we have about 9 minutes on the clock. So this is diving into a particular emotion, okay? So earlier in the workshop, we mentioned conveying an emotion, we mentioned storytelling, and we also mentioned provoking expression, right? And so this exercise will focus on that emotion. So I want you guys to pick an emotion here, okay? We only have about 5 minutes left, okay? So I'm gonna really run through this really fast, and if I have time, I'm gonna end it right here on this note, okay? So I want you guys to pick an emotion, and then within the next 4 to 5 minutes, okay, I'm going to tweak this exercise, all right? And I'm going to have you guys pick an emotion, and I want you guys to write a piece within the next 4 to 5 minutes, okay, that convey one of the emotions that you picked, okay? I want you to convey and put into your writing that emotion. I want you to make us feel that, okay? So you got, your time is about to start now. It is 12:53. At the end of this exercise, we should have about 2 more minutes to close, and that's when I'm gonna throw it back over to Miss Stephanie, guys, okay? So you guys, your time starts right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you have about 1 minute left, okay? All right, guys, if you guys put your pencils down, I want to say thank you to Hope at Hand once again for allowing me to facilitate this wonderful workshop with you guys. Before we end, would anybody like to quickly share what they wrote? I'm also going to go ahead and throw my social media in the chat if you guys want to connect with me as well. I'm going to throw my email in here as well. If you guys want to connect with me, you guys have.
Robbie, I'll read mine.
Please.
Okay. Writing on demand is very hard.
Writing on demand is very hard.
That is not my poem. I'm just saying writing on demand is very hard.
That you recited like a poem though.
Okay. All right. This is what I wrote. My launching and laughing are solely because of you. Your input on my outcomes are immeasurable. I am a drop and you are an ocean, and I am just happy to be a part of it.
Wow, your reverence of the vastness of them in comparisons to your droplet. I love how you did that. Your insignificance makes them significant, which is really beautiful. PJs, smashing cymbals and dancing in circles, the laughter was a highway to heaven. Wow, jubilation. That's exactly what it is. Laughing, happiness, highway to heaven. Very, very, very good, well written, PJ. Thank you for sharing. So at this moment, I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Stephanie. We have about 2 minutes left, everybody. My name is Youngo G. Rawby, aka Rawby Rice. Thank you guys so much. I put my Instagram and I also put my email in there. Please connect with me, guys. I'd love to talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much.